Good morning, welcome. Welcome to our store. Welcome to our flagship store here in the heart of London, just off Piccadilly. It's much smaller than most of your flagship stores, but is absolutely the heart of Prestat. Prestat, this wonderful brand, this English brand of chocolates, much loved by Roald Dahl, who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, much loved by Willy Wonka, therefore. In fact, he said of our chocolate, he said of our truffles, "I do so adore chocolate truffles as Prestat makes them." That's a hell of a good opening statement to make to you all. Our other great claim to fame is that we make for the royal family. We have a royal warrant, we've had one since 1975, and we also had the Queen Mother's royal warrant. Those are very key essences about the Prestat brand. We also sponsored Prince Harry this year on his walk to the South Pole, where he was patron of a walk for Walking with the Wounded, raising money for the wounded veterans. We were very, very privileged to do that and very privileged to be the official chocolate sponsor. One other thing you should always remember, and I think you'll understand why by the end of this short film, we were voted by The Economist magazine to be one of the top 3 chocolate shops in the world. So it's a real privilege for us to know that an essence of our shop, our history, our culture is going to be in your stores.
Hello, I'm Bill. I'm Nick's brother, which is my good fortune in life, apart from also owning Prestat chocolates with him. These are what we call our Art Deco bars. They are made from chocolate which has beans coming from West Africa, a place I lived in 25 years ago. And the cocoa beans are sourced from a special collective of farmers, grouping together 11,000 farmers under a unique quality partnership program in which they are paid a premium for the beans under a program which focuses most intently on yield, because cocoa is a crop where if you get your farming practices right, you can increase your yield 300 to 400% over your neighbouring farmer who may be unfortunately getting his agricultural practices wrong. Back to the bars, because what we're really about is we're about chocolate and nice food. Here we have the dark chocolate Pink Everest bar with Himalayan salt, which was many millennia ago sea salt. Pink Everest should be high on anyone's list, ha ha. Next we have a milk chocolate with pecan nuts and maple syrup. This is a recipe I dreamt up. This is called a Knickerbocker Glory, white chocolate with meringue, strawberry and almonds, and it's a delicious mixture. Naughty but nice. Here we have toasted pistachios in a white chocolate again. And finally we have a milk chocolate with Earl Grey tea, what we call tea time frolics. Earl Grey tea is a very special type of English tea created by a posh gentleman called Earl Grey, who put a bit of what's called bergamot oil into his tea, bergamot being a type of posh citrus fruit from India. And we've added just a twist of lemon. It's very Downton Abbey.
One of the things about Prestat, which is gloriously obvious, is that we have fantastic packaging. It's designed by a wonderful English artist called Kitty Arden, who I've known since my childhood and we've worked with ever since my brother and I bought Prestat 16 years ago. But the other thing about the packaging to remember from your point of view is it has outstanding retail presence. It presents beautifully and it can be seen right across the shop floor. These are some of our wafer thins. They're multi-award winning, they're absolutely delicious, each one is unique. Let me just talk a little more detail about them. I'm just going to pull down this box, it's one of my favourites. It's one we've had for about 2 years. It's a selection of dark chocolate with sea salt and milk chocolate with caramel. Yes, you want one now, so do I, but I'm going to have one before you do. Let me talk about the box. It's got this wonderful image of a Queen's State coach on it, her gold coach, being towed along by the Unicorn of Britain and the Lion of Britain, being chased by the Corkies, and here is a very naughty courtier called Sir Pink Tights, who's straight out of a Roald Dahl book. You will get about 32 pieces of chocolate per box. Each is very, very thin and individually made. Look how thin that is. And that's a milk chocolate with sea salt and caramel. It's absolutely delicious. I'm going to have a tiny bit now as we film. It's incredible. An immensely popular one, English dark chocolate thins with zingy English mint. The mint comes from a tiny small farm just about 60 miles to the southwest of London. Famous, and maybe our first, are dark and rich chocolate thins, 70% cocoa, much loved, much sent to the sort of places you'd expect to find our chocolates. Chocolate, fiery chili and cool lime, a slightly more modern combination, but one which we absolutely love. Something very typical of Prestat is innovation, and this is a very innovative chocolate, matcha green tea chocolate thins. So it's white chocolate with matcha green tea infused into it for several hours, and then it's deposited to all that thinness I was talking about earlier. Coffee, Italian cafe latte, a white chocolate thin. Sikkim tea, another tea from India this time, immersed in milk chocolate. Velvety milk chocolate thins with orange and cardamom chai, just launched, but it's already won 2 awards. Wonderful for us. It's as it says, chocolate, chai, orange and cardamom. How delicious is that? We launched it because we have a big following here in the UK amongst people celebrating Diwali, and also once we've tied it up with ribbons, it's a wonderful Halloween gift. But we can tie it up with different ribbons and it will become a wonderful Christmas gift. It is absolutely delicious. I've tried it on my mother, I've tried it on my children, all of those people, my worst critics. It is delicious. And then at the end of the line here, just a sort of treat, a tea time treat. Velvety milk chocolate thins with English Earl Grey tea. It's a fantastic combination. Again, we grind the Earl Grey tea, so it has tiny little specks of Earl Grey tea in it, infuse it in the milk chocolate, and you can smell everything that's lovely about it. The lovely chocolate from West Africa, the Earl Grey tea from far, far away as well, infused into this lovely, thin milk chocolate delight. Wow, truffles, truffles, truffles. Some say truffles. We have an aunt who says truffles, but I think we're pretty satisfied about truffles. And the great thing about Prestat truffles is that our founder, the Dufour family, created the first ever recipe for the chocolate truffle back in France in 1896. And that's one great, great claim. Our truffles come in different styles. Some come in the cube boxes and others come in these beautiful little boxes with an identifying picture on the front to say what the product is. But what have we got here? We've got our award-winning, much loved, as I keep saying, pink champagne truffles, one of our best sellers. I would have said that probably we sell more pink champagne truffles than practically anyone else in the UK. Although arguably our sea salt caramel truffle, which has won several great taste awards, actually is beginning to sell as many as our champagne awards. It's a lovely, glorious caramel in a dark chocolate shell, then rolled in powder. We'll show you some in the factory later. What we've launched most recently, some of you will know them already, are these red velvet truffles. What is a red velvet truffle? It's based on the US cake, the red velvet cake, but we put a twist on it. We take the classic red velvet icing, we pipe it into a milk chocolate shell, then we roll it in freeze-dried raspberry powder. It is absolutely sensational. Funnily enough, we launched it in New York to celebrate the great opening of the Red Velvet play. It was a wonderful play, but my goodness me, taste this chocolate. It comes packed with red tissue paper and then a glorious little bag of red velvet truffles. We have about 45 people making chocolate, both with the help of machines, but an awful lot of our chocolate is still made by hand. So these have been made and filled with a delicious dark chocolate ganache. I'm just going to bite one so you can see. Oh, I've nearly eaten it all. Everything we do, every recipe we make, every recipe we think of, everything starts on this marble table. Here we're making that wonderful word gianduja. It's taken me a long time to know how to pronounce that. It's just one of about 350 recipes that we have here in the factory. Much of what we do, we reblend. Nearly all of our chocolate comes from West Africa, with a tiny bit coming from South America, but we're very particular about different estates and different origins of our chocolate, and we're very proud of that side of our business. I know everyone who comes here thinks that we have giant pieces of machinery. Well, some of our whisks are much bigger, some of our spoons are much bigger, but at the end of the day, we're cooking on these small stoves. Welcome to our grotto. This is Christmas. This is like a Christmas you've never had before. Come in and join us. I mean, look, it's just a riot of pink and blue, our classic house colours, gold, red, gleaming advent calendars, wonderful stockings, large and small. Let me just sort of talk about it in a little more detail. This is our classic box, a Prestat jewel box. It comes in many different shapes and many different sizes, and it's a superb collection. At Christmas, we polish it up and we give it a different lid. We give it a Christmassy lid based on the Christmas fireplace, snowman, dog waiting patiently, stockings hanging in expectation of Father Christmas to come. It's a glorious, glorious box of chocolates. Let's just look inside it. Here we have one of the finest selections you could wish for. Christmas baubles. We call them baubles, you call them tree decorations. This is perfect. This is one of 5 different ones we do. This is the snowman one. We are also doing them in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We're doing a smiling Father Christmas, we're doing crowns, we're doing hearts. In this one, wrapped in the finest tissue, we're packing in these superb coconut ganache truffles. They're simply delicious. They're new this year and they're really, really gorgeous. They're wonderful tree decorations. They're wonderful little bribes for Santa's little helpers. They're great stocking stuffers. They really are just that tiny ultimate little gift to sneak into someone. And you can tell them that they will be hanging on some of the finest trees, Christmas trees in the world. Look at these. Wow, wow, wow. Mini stockings. 3 of them. They come as a set or they come individually. They're absolutely perfect. Each one packed full of delicious chocolate truffles. They are just ideal for putting at the ends of the beds, putting in bigger stockings, or I think as my mother would say, let's decorate the Christmas table with these. They're absolutely beautiful.